Hi there, I'm Nia Malika Henderson and welcome to On Background. Twitter debuts on the New York Stock Exchange today, going public with an all-male board of directors. The company's top executives pretty much the same, with the exception of one woman who became general counsel in August. That lack of diversity is hardly unique to Twitter, but it's another high-profile example of how Silicon Valley remains perhaps the ultimate boys club. Here to discuss the challenges women face in the business is Sarah Chips. She's a co-founder of Girl Develop It, which teaches women software development. Also joining us is Stanford researcher Vivek Wadhwa. He's writing a book about women in the tech industry. Thank you both for joining me today. I want to start off, Sarah, with the numbers. If you look at the landscape of the tech industry, here's what we find. 5.7% of U.S. women, 5.7% U.S. women working in the computer industry, 2% women with a degree in a high-tech field. And in terms of salaries, the amount that women earn for every dollar in Silicon Valley is 49 cents. Nationally, it's 77 cents. And here I thought the big bucks were out there in Silicon Valley. Sarah, what has your experience been like in the tech industry, and do these numbers reflect what you've seen?
So yes, my experience has been that it's really rare to come across another female developer. One thing that I've observed in the community is that, at least in the software development community, is that no one thinks that's a good thing. And so in the past few years, I've seen some really great efforts, both on the parts of male and female developers, to encourage more women in computer science. And I'm hoping that 10 years from now we'll be reaping the benefits of that.
And one of the things we've seen, Vivek, with Twitter, they have gotten some flack here because they are going forward with their IPO today. No women on the board. They have said they will get a woman on the board after they go through with this IPO. You gave a statement to the New York Times and you said this is the elite arrogance of the Silicon Valley mafia, the Twitter mafia. It's the same male chauvinistic thinking. The fact that they went to the IPO without a single woman on the board. How dare they? You got into a bit of a Twitter beef there with the CEO, Dick Costello. His response to you: Vivek Wadhwa is the carrot top of academic sources. I don't really know what that means. You don't really look like Carrot Top to me. But I want you to talk about, one of the things that these companies say is that there are not enough women in the pipeline. What's your sense of that, the pipeline context, the pipeline excuse?
It starts with the top. It starts with the board. It goes down from the executive quarters to senior management down. Let's start with the top now. Look at the board of Twitter. There's a French literature major, philosophy major, 2 MBAs, 2 college dropouts, and 2 techies. So they don't have a board filled with technology people. Why do they say that women have to have some special qualifications to be on their board? When they talk about filling the board, they talk about Madeleine Albright or Hillary Clinton. Oh my God, they have no one of that caliber on the board right now.
Right.
Dual standards that they have. And the problem is that when women look at the tech world, they see an all-male universe and they feel left out and they get discouraged. This is why they're not even entering STEM, because they see it as a boys' club and they're excluded from it. So it creates a system-wide problem. And this is why I've been arguing that we need to start with the top, fix the board. If the board was half women, and also minorities. I mean, I've been highlighting women, but the fact is there's no African American anywhere to be found in the executive team of Twitter or anywhere in its senior ranks. There are hardly any Hispanics throughout the company. Other groups are also left out, and this is a systematic problem that you're seeing in the technology industry, which must be fixed because it's damaging the technology industry. It's bad for our economy. It's bad for innovation.
We reached out to Twitter for a response to this. They did not give us one. I want you, Sarah, to talk about the pipeline, the sort of pipeline context as well.
Yeah, so my most recent role, I was a CTO of a company called Levo League, which is a Gen Y, Gen Y LinkedIn geared towards women. And our development team was mostly women. In fact, as I was recruiting, I consciously went to hire men for some roles, because I believe that diversity and not women-only teams is what creates better platforms. So I had no problem finding Jirth. And of course, that's just my personal situation. I do have quite a network. However, one thing that I've observed that works very well is if you feel that you don't have women in your pipeline, there's a great conference called JSConf. It's a developer conference. It's the largest JavaScript conference in the world. And one thing that they pride themselves on is when they don't have women applicants to speak, they find them and they ask them. And I've seen that work very well for them and for other institutions that have picked that up since.
And one of the things, Vivek, that you often find is that diversity is actually good for business. It's good in terms of fostering creativity and innovation, which in fact is what the tech industry is all about.
Absolutely. And every data point you look at, when you have diverse boards, companies perform better. Whenever you have women involved, they are more sensible. My book is going to have lots of data in it, but every data point you look at shows that this is good for the companies themselves. So we're not saying they do it for affirmative action or for charity because it's a law. We do it because it's in the interest of the shareholders. It makes a lot of sense. I want to build on what Sarah just said. One of the companies I'm on the board of used to be an all-male bunch of, it's a great company. It used to be all-male, and they started reading my articles and seeing the criticism I'm facing, so decided to look for women. And guess what? They've got two amazing women that have joined the company now. One is a PhD, and the other one happens to be one of the complete marketing genius. So just by looking and being sensitive to the fact that they need to have more balance, they've been able to do well. And they rave about the impact that these women have had on the company, on the culture of the company, and so on. So it's goodness all over. There's no reason not to do it.
Sarah, you want to jump in?
Yeah, just to follow up on that. Yes, it is of course wonderful, and we all do have sisters and mothers that we want to promote. But this is a financial issue. I mean, in the U.S., women control 85% of household spending. And most recently, Pinterest, which is the fastest growing social media platform currently, was valuated at over $3 billion. This is a financial issue. Like, this is, if you want your company to do better business, and if you want to make more money, you need to put the people that are spending that money on your board.
Talking to Vivek Wadhwa.